So here's the situation. We are taking our daughter to Legoland and the Peppa Pig theme park for her fifth birthday, but the airline we are taking grounded almost all of their planes. So our 1.5 hour flight has now turned into a 10-hour road trip. It is too late and too expensive to fly with another airline, so we are packing up our car and driving from North Carolina to Florida, and I am taking with us some homemade snacks. Okay, first up on our road trip snack menu are fresh milled chocolate chip cookies. These are cookies that I am making with soft white wheat that I am milling at home myself. But if you don't have a grain mill, you can definitely make these with whole wheat flour or whole grain flour that you buy from the store. Here I am using fresh milled soft white wheat. And because this is unsifted fresh milled flour, it has all three parts of the wheat berry in it, the bran, the germ, and the endosperm, making it a true 100% whole grain flour. And they are much more filling than a chocolate chip cookie made with regular all-purpose flour. Now, don't get me wrong, a cookie made with all-purpose flour is really good, but when we're talking about being stuck in the car, trying to stay full, but also having delicious snacks, this is a really great compromise. Of course, like any road trip snack, it would be easier to just grab a box of cookies from the store. But what I like about making my own snacks and making my own fresh milled cookies is that they are made with simple ingredients. So just for example, a quick rundown of the ingredients in this recipe, I am using about 3 3/4 cups or 500 grams of fresh milled soft white wheat, 1 cup of unsalted butter, 1 cup of regular sugar, 1 cup of dark brown sugar, 2 teaspoons or so of homemade vanilla extract, 2 eggs, about a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. And then, of course, a lot of chocolate chips. One thing I should note about making cookies or baked goods with a whole grain flour like this is sometimes the cookie dough can be a little bit stiffer than it would be with all-purpose dough, and that's totally normal. And in my experience, it doesn't actually change the outcome of the cookie itself. They still taste just the same as the cookies I make with all-purpose flour, but because it has that bran and germ in there, it does just change the texture of the batter a little bit. The other thing that I've always found makes a better cookie is to refrigerate the dough first. So once I get the dough together, I usually put it in the fridge. Generally, I like to keep it in there overnight and then bake it, but at least a couple of hours, and that will prevent the cookies from spreading. My family cannot get enough of these cookies, and the issue was every time I turned around after baking this first batch, one was missing because somebody was eating one. So to ensure that we actually have cookies for our trip in a couple of days, I am freezing the rest of the cookie dough, and then I'm going to bake it the night before we leave. So I just scooped out the dough onto a parchment-lined sheet and then put that sheet directly into the freezer for about an hour or two. And then I'm transferring that frozen dough into a bag. That flash freezing process just ensures that the cookie dough doesn't stick together once you put it in the bag. And then the night before we leave, I will bake the rest from frozen at 375 for about 10 to 13 minutes or so. When they are just cold out of the fridge, they only take 8 to 10 minutes, but from frozen, you need to add a few extra minutes. Like all the snacks I am making for this trip, this will be plenty for the car ride there, and then leftovers for us to enjoy while we are at Legoland. I really crave crunchy snacks in the car, and I thought about making homemade potato chips, but they just won't hold up very well. Freshly fried food like that, you really have to eat it right away. So I am making a homemade Chex Mix. I actually bought Chex Mix at the store recently, and no hate on Chex Mix, but it was terrible. We actually returned it because it just was not good. It had some of the weirdest ingredients in it, but a homemade Chex Mix, at least comparatively, is pretty healthy. There are a million recipes for Chex Mix online, but my go-to is always really simple. I use 9 cups of Chex cereal. I usually use equal parts of corn Chex, rice Chex, and whole wheat Chex. And then I throw in about 1.5 cups of mini pretzels and about 1.5 cups of crushed plain bagel chips. This is also very good with peanuts, but my daughter is allergic to peanuts, so obviously that is not an option. I have made this with cashews before, but when they bake in the oven for an hour, they tend to burn a little bit, so I'm going to skip them. But really, you can throw anything you want in there. Cheese, crackers. I've recently had a homemade Chex Mix with little honeycombs in it, and it was really good like that. So use what you have and get creative. For the seasoning, I mixed together a 1/2 cup of melted butter, 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, 3 teaspoons of seasoned salt, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. You could also make this spicy too with a little cayenne pepper, but I have an almost 5-year-old eating this, so we are going to skip the spicy. Once it's all mixed together and combined, the trick to making sure that your Chex Mix is really toasted and stays crunchy is to make sure that's in a thin single layer. So I divvy this up between 2 parchment lined baking sheets, and then I bake them at 250 for an hour, and every 20 minutes I take them out, stir it up, and I rotate the sheets. So I take the one that's on the bottom rack and put it on the top and vice versa. When planning road trip snacks, it's important to think about what foods can you make in big batches and what foods last a really long time. And homemade Chex Mix is really easy to make in big batches, and it can last 2 weeks. So with the big batch of this, we have some to snack on in the car on the way to Florida. You can take snacks into the theme park so we can have some in there or even in our hotel room. And then if we have some left over, we can even enjoy it on the way back. I am not an anti-store-bought snack person. I like potato chips as much as the next person, but for sure it's cheaper to make your own snacks like this. But also I have found that when I give in to things like potato chips, I cannot stop eating them. I just crave them over and over and over again. So by packing some homemade snacks, hopefully it can curb some of that. I'm not saying I'm not going to eat any potato chips on our trip, but this definitely will help us out in terms of budget and keeping things a little bit healthy while we enjoy our vacation. In order for us to get to the resort in time for check-in, but also at a reasonable hour for bedtime and dinner and those sorts of things, we have to leave our house at 5 a.m. So I am making a batch of homemade sourdough discard granola bars for us to have in the morning for the road, and then also to snack on as we drive and for snacks while we are at Legoland. If you are not a sourdough person, you can definitely make this recipe without the sourdough discard, but that discard does add a little bit of flavor, but more importantly, it acts as a binder, making this a pretty mess-free snack for the car. When you are making travel snacks, it's helpful to think about things that aren't too messy for the car. Now that Chex Mix might be a little messy, but these granola bars definitely stay together. Homemade granola bars are really versatile, so you can use whatever you have on hand that would be good in a granola bar. But first, I am melting a 1/4 cup of butter and a 1/4 cup of almond butter on the stove. You could definitely use peanut butter, but again, my daughter has a peanut allergy, so we are using almond butter. And then I'm adding in a 1/2 cup of orange blossom honey and a 1/2 cup of sourdough starter discard. In this case, that discard is active starter. It doesn't really matter either way. You just want to use a sourdough starter that has been fed relatively recently, so it's not too sour. Then I'm combining that mixture with about 3 cups of rolled oats, about a cup or so of crushed corn Chex. You could also use Rice Krispies cereal, that just gives a little crunch, a handful of pumpkin seeds, and a sprinkle of mini chocolate chips. What makes this a granola bar and not granola is that it has to be really pressed down into a pan. So I put this in a parchment lined baking sheet, and then I took another sheet of parchment paper, laid it on top, and really pressed that mixture down into the pan. You really want to compact that so that way you can cut it into bars without it falling apart. And then I bake that at 325 for about 35 minutes. How long it takes to bake them kind of depends on how thick they are. So what you're looking for is for the top to be completely golden, not just the edges, but the whole surface of the granola bars to be golden. Once they came out of the oven, I let them cool to room temperature and then put them in the fridge overnight so they can set up, making them easier to cut. These are full of good for you ingredients, and they'll be great for our early morning when we have to leave, but also for little snacks in the car and for the mornings we are in Florida and we need a bite to eat before we hit the theme parks. Lunch is always an issue on a road trip because there are not a lot of great choices when you are driving. So I am making a batch of sourdough brioche rolls so we can pack little sandwiches. And then we're also going to bring a cooler so we can bring the extra rolls and some extra lunch meats, not just for the road if we need them, but also for our hotel because we will have a refrigerator there. You could definitely make a loaf of sandwich bread, whether it's fresh milled or sourdough, or even just buy some bread at the store, of course, to make sandwiches. But but I don't know what it is. It's always really fun to have your own sandwiches in the car, and it's definitely better for you than stopping for fast food. Now, we are no stranger to fast food, so there is no judgment there, but I am trying to make this trip a little bit healthier because once we get to our destination, I know we are going to be eating all sorts of things. You can get this recipe for these sourdough brioche rolls over on my blog at moonandmagnolia.com. For these, I prefer using a bread flour from the store versus fresh milled flour. Of course, I love fresh milled flour, but lately I've just been wanting some really classic breads, and I've been preferring my sweets made with fresh milled flour. So this is made with bread flour. With these rolls, I'll be making really simple sandwiches with just a little bit of mayo, turkey, ham, and cheese, whatever everyone prefers on their sandwich. But it's important, again, to keep things pretty simple and mess free. We stopped at a Jersey Mike's a couple months ago to get a sandwich while we were driving to Chapel Hill, and the sandwich was good, but it was so messy. There was oil on it and shredded lettuce. There was lettuce all over our car, and we decided that that type of food is just not good driving food. But small sandwiches with some really simple ingredients on it make great snacks or just a great lunch in the car. This recipe makes 16 rolls, and they're a great size for little sliders or little sandwiches. But one thing that I tried to do is make a couple of those rolls small for my daughter. Not only is it just better for her little hands and just for the size food that she will eat, but also she gets really excited that there are little rolls made just for her. So it makes just a simple sandwich in the car feel really exciting and special. We will have a fridge and freezer set up there. So once we get to Florida, I will stash the leftover rolls in the freezer, and then we will have some turkey and lunch meat to use for our sandwiches on the way back. And of course, I'll pack some fruit and things to drink so we can have lunches in the car without stopping for fast food. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you when we get back from Florida.